Good evening, colleagues, members of the public. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Midpeninsula Regional Open Space District. My name is Zoe Kirstein Tucker. I am President of the Board of Directors. The meeting is now called to order. The time is 7:01. Excuse me. May we please have a roll call?
Director Sear,
Yes.
Director Hassett,
Here.
Director Holman,
Yes.
Director Kirstein Tucker,
Yes.
Director Kishimoto,
Yes.
Director Riffle,
Here.
and Director Siemens.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, all board members are present. I would now like to review the district's teleconference meeting procedures for our meeting this evening. This meeting is being held in accordance with a recent amendment to the Brown Act through legislation known as AB 361, which allows a fully remote meeting during proclaimed emergencies. We are doing our best to conduct a meeting where everyone has an opportunity to listen to the meeting and to provide comment. The meeting agenda explains how members of the public can provide comments at this meeting. The public may submit written comments and may provide public comments through the internet or via telephone. Members of the public who wish to comment during the meeting should submit the online public comment form, which is available on the district's website. Let's start by briefly describing the process for today's meeting. Board members and district staff will be participating in the Zoom online meeting as panelists to have the ability to mute and unmute themselves and to interact amongst each other. Members of the public will join as attendees. They will be able to hear and see all presentations, but will not be able to unmute themselves or share their screen. During the public comment period, the district clerk will call on members of the public individually who have submitted an online public comment form. Commenters will be allowed to unmute themselves to address the board for up to 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, they will be muted. Video of guests is turned off in Zoom. This will help run the meeting without interruption. Board members and staff, please keep your microphones muted unless you're speaking in order to minimize background noise. I'll be asking for board member questions and comments by calling on individual board members. This will help prevent us from talking over each other. I'd like to remind all staff members to announce their names and titles when speaking to ensure that the board and public knows who is speaking. Thank you. Report out of our closed session. We have nothing to report out this evening from that closed session. And we will turn now to public comment on items not on the agenda. Are there comments from members of the public on matters within the jurisdiction of the district, but that are not on the agenda this evening?
President Kirstein Tucker, we do have 2 requests to provide oral comments. The first will be from Alex Hapke.
Alexander Hapke, President, Mid-Peninsula Rangers Peace Officers Association. The district has a recruitment and retention issue in the Ranger class. Today is Thomas Anaya's last day as a district ranger. He served for about 3.5 years. There are currently 3 vacant ranger positions out of 30 budgeted positions. Tommy is the 3rd mid-career ranger to resign in as many months. I see this as a retention issue, that rangers are not seeing the benefits of spending their career working for the district. If they did, they would not be leaving before retirement age. It is my understanding that there has been a reduction in qualified candidates year over year to fill posted ranger positions. The fewer number of candidates that are selected to be moved onto the background stage of hiring, the higher the chance that none of those candidates will make it through the process and be offered a job. This looks to me like a recruitment issue. If the district were to recognize that engaging in a negotiation to provide its rangers with public safety retirement benefits, then recruitment and retention would likely improve. On a separate note, regarding the realities of what district rangers may find and have to deal with while on patrol as law enforcement officers, approximately 2 weeks ago, a 51-year-old man was arrested by Santa Clara County Sheriff's investigators and charged with 10 felony counts associated with sex acts with a minor that occurred in a Rancho San Antonio County Park parking lot on multiple occasions. The district manages and our rangers patrol Rancho San Antonio County Park. Any district ranger on patrol in Rancho could have found this adult and child engaged in sexual activities in the normal course of their duties. Rangers never know what they're going to find while on patrol. We deal with more than minor infractions. This is why Rangers should have public safety retirement benefits, because those benefits are there to protect the Rangers from whatever they have to deal with in the field. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alex. The other next individual providing oral comments is Ryan Augustine. Ryan, you can unmute yourself and you have 3 minutes.
All right, thank you. I am Ryan Augustine, and I'm speaking as a Mid-Peninsula Rangers Peace Officers Association member. While the district put me through the National Park Ranger Law Enforcement Academy, I realized how people see things differently. With the training, I became aware of people behind me and wondering what they were doing. I became aware of odd vehicles that would seem to be following me. I became suspicious of anyone blocking me in a parking lot with their vehicle. I remember telling my wife about this, and her response to that being, that is how she grew up as a woman, always being on the defensive as if someone may do her harm. As a white male, I had never had to deal with this. This has shaped me ever since as I try to serve everyone as a Ranger. I thought of this when someone recently explained to me that my job is all about working in our great lands. Make no mistake, I love our diverse lands and agree they are amazing. I would, however, like to show the contrast between what is seen and, for their safety, what Rangers are trained to see so they are prepared. 1, the public. A vehicle parked along the edge of the road. The Ranger. A vehicle not normally parked there, and while stopping to check on it, hears firearms being discharged in the preserve. 2, the public. Rangers providing traffic control and closing the road. The Ranger, a vehicle accident with a power pole resulting in the pole standing upright in the highway being held up only by charged power lines. 3, the public. Rangers practicing wildland firefighting. The Ranger, yearly day-long physical wildland firefighting training, including practicing being overrun by a fire. 4, the public. Rangers drive by with their lights on. The Ranger. There's assault and battery occurring between 2 mutual combatants with unknown weapons. 5, the public. 3 visitors talking to a Ranger. The Ranger. Visitors reporting that 10 subjects had threatened them with a gun and then vandalized their vehicle at that location. 6, the public. Scenic drive up the mountain. The Ranger. Retrieving a deceased driver and their vehicle from 170 feet over the side of the roadway into the preserve. 7, the public. Scenic views of the city, reservoir, and highways. The Ranger. Looking for evidence, signs of the armed assailant or the assailant themselves who earlier attempted to drag a visitor into the bushes. 8, the public. A car parked in a pullout with engine trouble. The Ranger. A stolen car associated with a felony with the trunk and hood open and no one around with only closed areas adjacent. While these may sound like made-up incidents, incidents similar to each one of these happened in 2022 alone. I hope this starts to show just some of what the Rangers encounter. Thank you.
Thank you. We have 2 comments to be read into the record.
Okay.
Sorry, it says I'm muted. You can hear me, right?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay. The first is Jeff Brown. Pleasant Hill. It states, "Good evening. My name is Jeff Brown, and I work for the district as a Ranger, and I am writing tonight representing the Mid-Peninsula Rangers Peace Officers Association. Tonight, I am unable to join this meeting because I am on duty actively working to protect the district's lands and the public safety. Last meeting, you heard a presentation by management summarizing the negotiations process with the POA. From the POA's perspective, there were several errors in that presentation, and it does not adequately describe how management approached the negotiations process. There are too many of these errors and misrepresentations to adequately describe in a 250-word comment. Limiting us to only providing comments at public board meetings is not the proper venue to discuss our concerns. Overall, we are concerned that management is not adequately or accurately communicating our needs as employees to you as the board. Given that we currently are not in negotiations and we have not been negotiating since the declared impasse of negotiations, the POA would appreciate the opportunity to speak to each of you as our representative board of directors. Thank you to the board members who have agreed to meet with us. We look forward to speaking to you. The next comment to be read into the record is from Edward Noskowski and Los Gatos. It states, I am an avid user of the open space preserves. I love riding my bike in the Kennedy Sierra Azul area. I'm strongly in favor of opening all trails currently allowing bike use to allow e-bike use. And I'll ask Deputy District Clerk Maria Soria to let me know if I missed any, but I think those are all of them for oral communications. I will also remind the public that we do not take comments through raising of hands, that you can provide submit a public comment form using the address of www.openspace.org/public-comment. And we will read those out, or you may provide oral comments. All comments for the Bear Creek Stables item will be taken at that time. Thank you.